Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode on Nations Without Borders. My name is Eric, and together with Josien, my wife, and my baby daughter Nora, we are the Nation family. Today we'll be taking you on a fun family weekend trip that we took to Ericeira. Josien's parents flew all the way in from the Netherlands to try and escape the rainy winter weather conditions. However, Mother Nature had other plans in store for us. The weather report showed 100% rain and stormy conditions all weekend long. However, despite the doom and gloom weather report, we actually managed to have a pretty amazing weekend. In this video, we'll show you some activities you can do and how to plan for a rainy weekend in Ericeira, Portugal. Let's go. So here's some pretty cool fun facts about Ericeira. It's a small surf city located just a 45-minute drive from Lisbon, where we live, and it's considered to be the surf capital of Portugal. It's actually been called the surf mecca of Europe. It's an amazing place for surf, and it's actually labeled a World Surf Reserve as well. So if you're coming to Portugal and you want to surf, obviously you have tons of options like Peniche, Nazaré, Sagres, but Ericeira takes the trophy. And after 3 years of living in Lisbon, we are ready for a change. So here's some foreshadowing. We are considering Ericeira as a possible place to relocate within Portugal. All right, so let's start with day one. We spent a total of 3 days up there. We drove up on a Friday morning. Josien's parents arrived a couple days earlier just to kind of hang out by themselves and get to know the area. But we drove up on Friday morning, and of course, it was already, the storm was rolling in as we were driving into Ericeira. It was getting really windy and the rain started. So yeah, we knew we were in for a treat. But the drive there went well. And after we got there, we hung out with Josien's parents for a while, and then after that we saw there was a break with the rain and the wind, so we decided to take advantage of that, and we did a morning walk kind of like around the city center of Ericeira. And as you walk the perimeter of the city, you're walking like along the edge of a cliff where there's a wall, and you can see all the cliff sides in Ericeira and the beaches and the ocean. It was really cool because, as I said, it was really stormy, so the ocean looked very violent and the waves were huge. So it was pretty cool just to walk along the coast and look at the waves. We were having a lot of fun with that. And after we walked around the main part of Ericeira, we headed towards the town square, kind of the very center. And we decided to stop in this cafe called, I'm probably gonna butcher this, O Pauzinho das Marias. This cafe is like in that square, and in my opinion, I think it has the best brownie in all of Ericeira. Granted, I haven't tried any other brownies in Ericeira, but this one was so good. I think it was perfect, 10 out of 10. So heads up if you're ever in Ericeira and you got a sweet tooth. They have other pastries too, but hit up O Pauzinho das Marias. So after we got done having our coffee and eating the treats, the rain started rolling in again. So we headed back to our Airbnb, which was within about 10-minute walking distance, which was good for us considering the rain. We stayed at a place called J&G Villas, managed by a guy named Joe Arvello. Super cool guy. He was born in Portugal, but lived in Boston in the States most of his life. Super nice guy, and he has multiple bungalows on his property located near the city center, and he actually does a fantastic job. One of the best Airbnbs we've been to, one of the best hosts, very hospitable, goes above and beyond, and we can highly recommend it. So after we went back to our Airbnb and chilled out from the rain for a bit, we saw there was another break, which happened to be around dinner time, which was perfect. We walked about 10 minutes and we went to a dinner spot recommendation that our Airbnb host recommended called Tea Matilde, and it was a seafood restaurant like right on the edge of the cliff. So you have a beautiful view over the ocean, and we went there for sunset, although the sun set very quickly, so it was mostly dark when we were there, but we all ordered a bunch of amazing seafood and it was great. We went there a little bit early, so we were some of the only people there. Portuguese people are known to go out to dinner a little bit later in general, around like 8 o'clock, so we got there at 6 and it was perfect. All right, day number 2. We just had breakfast at our Airbnb and kept it nice and easy. We just cooked. And then after that, we actually went to a house that we have our eyes on. We're looking at buying a new house, which is very exciting. This house was located 15 minutes north of Ericeira, and we drove all the way out there and we looked at the house, drove down to the beach nearby to check it out, and that was really cool. So after that, we drove back and we had lunch at a very cool spot called Ribeira d'Ilhas. This is a surf break, one of the most popular surf breaks in Ericeira. This is where they actually host the WSL annual surf contest, and they have a really cool restaurant and bar right there on the water. We went there and got lunch, had some amazing burgers and fries, and everyone was happy. The weather was still pretty bad, so we just went to the Quicksilver skate shop, one of my favorite places in all of Ericeira. They have a skate park, they have a skate shop and a surfboard shop, and they have a little cafe and bar inside. So we just went in there, showed Josien's parents around, and I went surfboard shopping. I didn't buy anything, but I'll be back, and that was really fun. After we went back home and just chilled out for a while, drank some wine, and then for dinner, we decided to keep it easy. We did takeout at this chicken place right down the street from our Airbnb on the recommendation of our host, Joe. It's called Ericeira da Vila. I think I pronounced that right. Anyways, super local chicken spot. It was delicious and super affordable, so that was a great dinner. All right, on to day 3. Day 3, we actually had some amazing weather. It did rain throughout the day, but there was lots of breaks of sunshine. So I would say Sunday was the best day yet. We hung out in front of our Airbnb, sat in the lounge chair, soaked up some sun. And because the weather was looking better than the other days, we decided to drive all the way down to Praia São Julião. This is about a 15-minute drive from the city center. And we went there and just hung out at the beach. And there is this restaurant right on the beach sand. It has some of the best pizza, I think, in all of Ericeira. It's like traditional brick oven style Italian, and the pizza was just phenomenal. After we hung out there for a bit, we actually just drove up the cliff, parked the car, and Josien's parents and myself, we hiked this trail that Josien had done before. It connects Praia São Julião to Praia Lisandro, and there's this trail along the cliffside. So we did that. It was, I don't know, a short half an hour hike, and a super nice walk. Walked along the cliffside. Josien's parents were extra adventurous and got to the edge, and I got some really cool photos of them walking along the edge with like the huge waves crashing in the background. That was super cool. And then after we walked back, we all headed into the car as it was getting rainy, and we drove back to Ericeira. By this point, we were getting hungry, but it was still early. We didn't want a full dinner, but we heard very good things about this place called Balagan, this restaurant slash cafe in Praia de Belaya. We went there, went to Balagan. Luckily, we got a table right at sunset, and we had some delicious beers, and the menu was full of like Persian food, and so that was super delicious. We got some appetizers and it was amazing. Really nice sunset right there on the water. Balagan, highly recommend it. I've heard lots of digital nomads like to work there as well, so pretty cool spot to work and with some nice views. After we got home and chilled out for a bit, then it was time to head out for dinner. For dinner, we wanted a traditional Portuguese cuisine, so we went to this well-known spot in town called Tic Tac. It's a restaurant right in the city center, kind of by the square, and it's just traditional Portuguese food. Super simple, but delicious and cozy. Good for rainy weather, and that was a super nice meal to end the weekend. And for some other activities you could do, obviously Ericeira, like I mentioned before, is the surf capital of Portugal. There's amazing waves, all different kinds of surf breaks, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Now, just because it's raining doesn't mean you can't go surf. You could surf while it's raining pretty easily, obviously unless it's storming. Now, this weekend was very stormy. The waves were huge, the ocean was violent, so there was no chance of me surfing this weekend, unfortunately. But if it's not stormy and it's just simply raining, you can still surf. And in fact, the wintertime is when the waves are the biggest in Ericeira. So if you're on that level, you'll have a good time. Now, as far as other activities, it's a small surf town. You know, there's not as many opportunities as you have in a big city like Lisbon. In Lisbon, there's like indoor parks for kids and playgrounds, Oceanario, which is like a big, massive, really cool aquarium, cinemas. There's just a lot more options in Lisbon. So if you search the internet and you search what to do in Ericeira on a rainy weekend, some of the recommendations say just go to Lisbon for the day because there's more to do. But if you get creative and you strategize a little bit, you can still find fun things to do in Ericeira. I'll leave you with that. Let's go over the activities that you can do on a rainy weekend in Ericeira. You got just watch for the breaks of sunshine, use those to your advantage, get out and go on a walk around the city, along the coastline, go to the surrounding beaches beaches. There's plenty of them to choose from. If it's not too stormy, go surfing. If you're into surfing or skating, go to the Quicksilver board shop. You can just hang out in there. They got a bar, they got a cafe. You can just watch skate videos, surf videos, shop for some gear, go to the movies. All right, so there you have it. There was our 3-day rainy weekend in Ericeira, Portugal, and all the activities that we did. Even though the weather report showed 100% rain for the whole weekend and the storm was coming, we still managed to have a good time. And leading up to that weekend, we were kind of bummed out because Josien's parents were coming all the way from the Netherlands, hoping for sunshine and good weather, and here we were stuck with that. Just so you know, for future reference, from like December to February is pretty rainy weather in Ericeira. So we went there in March just last month and we got unlucky. But since we knew it was gonna be bad weather, we just said, let's just go and try and have the best time. It's too late, we've already made the reservations. Let's just go in with low expectations, enjoy the family time. And that's what we did, and it ended up being amazing. We had breaks from the rain, there was sunshine every day that we could take advantage of. We just strategized, and that's what I kind of recommend. If you're ever going to Ericeira and it's gonna be rain, like just know that it's not gonna probably rain all day every day. It might, no guarantee, but it might. Check your weather report, and whenever there's breaks, just make sure you go out, go on a walk, go to some restaurants, explore the beaches, and you'll still have a good time. If you have any questions about any other activities or other things to do in Ericeira, drop us a comment down below. We'll be happy to respond. And if you found this video helpful or just simply entertaining, please do us a favor and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It helps us make more videos like this. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Adios, and we'll see you next time.